Hello, and welcome to Petz's Game Shack podcast. This is the third episode, and today we have Doomed Prinny with me. Why not say hello?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I am extremely tired. How do I stream at this time every other night? Like, what?
I don't know. I'm usually in bed not too long after this because I'm getting old. I used to stay up till like 4 in the morning playing games all the time, carefree, and now it's like I need to go to sleep. 12 hours isn't enough.
Ugh,
But
those were the days.
So, glad to have you with us. We'll start with what we have currently been playing, as we have three sections of the podcast. What we've been currently playing is basically games we have played recently. So what have you been currently playing?
So, I have been playing a bunch of different JRPGs. I finished Final Fantasy VIII Remastered,
After 20 years?
and yeah, after 20 years, finally did it. But to be fair, I only just started it like last year at some point. And then I don't know, I think I'm halfway through Chrono Cross, another old title, but again, something I've only just got my hands on and started playing. I'm one of those few minorities that never played it back in the day, and I'm also playing this game called Disgaea. I mean, if you've heard of Prinny dudes, then you've definitely heard of Disgaea, the Disgaea 6. And well, lastly, also the Cruel King and the Great Hero. That's probably a lot more niche that people haven't heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. What kind of game is it?
So it's JRPG as well. It's just a really niche title from Nisa. Nisa are the same company who publish Disgaea series, and this particular title is like a storybook style game. So
Okay.
it's all narrated in Japanese, and it's like you read it like a book, and it's all hand drawn. And yeah, all of it's like even the save file is a bookmark.
That's
And
cool.
when they change, like for example, when you have a fight, it will be like pages turning, and then it will change into the fight mode. So yeah, it's very artistic. In a series, it's actually a second game after another game. None of them are related, but it's just the same style.
It kind of like the Disgaea or Disgaea, as you say. I'm not sure which is properly pronounced. The Disgaea games, like they aren't linked, although they the same games. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Is that
so I
correct?
think so. You pretty much. I mean, this game's pretty much in the same universe, but yeah, different heroes in each game. But the first ever game, you always see the Overlord Lahal and Etna showing up, and then they always get used as DLC in the other games. But yeah, normally it's a different story per game.
All right, that's cool. As you've been playing Chrono Cross recently, have you played Chrono Trigger?
Oh, I keep getting pulled up on this. Where's Trigger? Why aren't you playing Trigger? Okay,
Well,
but
I don't
so
mind
here's
that you not playing it right now. I'm just wondering, have you played it at all?
I have not. So story behind that is I keep getting told, you should play Trigger first. It's like the game that kind of gave the name for like Japanese role-playing games. Now, the thing with that is I actually um don't have a working PC at the moment, and it kind of blew up before lockdown.
Right.
So I've been living off my PS4 and I worship it. But yeah, Chrono Cross got released on consoles as well as Steam, I think. So Chrono Trigger was only just remastered, I think, a few months before, perhaps in March, February, March, and that was only on Steam. So I wasn't able to play it.
You wasn't able to play
Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, sorry.
Yeah.
So, Why did you?
So
No,
here I am playing Chrono Cross,
yeah, I'm
and to be
just.
honest, I don't think it impacts on me because the games are very, very loosely connected, so it hasn't really affected me playing Chrono Cross, and I'm loving it. I didn't think I'd like it, but it's really charming. One day I'll get hold of Chrono Trigger, and I probably will like that too because it's like 2D sprites, JRPG, and I love those too.
Yeah, it's just surprising to go in with a sequel beforehand, but at the same time, when it's not connected or loosely connected, it doesn't really affect anything. The only thing I would say could be an issue with going into a series at a later entry is maybe some of the quality of life improvements and things are removed from earlier games, and then you might struggle to enjoy her as much because you're like, oh, I missed this, I missed that. But at the end of the day, if you're enjoying the game, then who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's true. I think a lot of people hate on the fact that Chrono Cross's the fighting mechanics are very strange. I don't actually have a problem with it. I just get on with it. I do get a bit knocked sometimes because you can't use magic the way you would in a normal game where you just use the spell until your MP runs out. In this, you equip a magic thing and you can only use it once per round, and that is kind of frustrating. Um, but yeah, I think it's just one of those unique things, like because I like how the fighting style is slightly different in each Disgaea game. So Chrono Cross, it just wasn't that much. I mean, to be honest, if I can, complete Final Fantasy VIII, I hated the fighting mechanics. Like, good lord, I was cursing that game right up until the end. I hated it so much.
Wait, you played through all of Final Fantasy VIII, but you hated the game.
Yeah, the story was great. The fighting knocked me off so bad. Junctioning? Oh, go away. I can't use my magic.
See,
This
I'm
game's
very
torture.
inexperienced with Final Fantasy VIII. I played it briefly, like when I was younger, not very much. So, like, a lot of the terms you'll use will go over my head. But I don't understand why you would bother continuing to play the game if you disliked playing it. Could have just
Okay.
watched all the cutscenes or something.
So this is it, right? I'm a JRPG, all right? We're there for the story, we're there for the plot. Now, Final Fantasy VIII, the story was really, really good. It really, really grips on you. It was really emotional, and it was such a good payoff at the end when all kind of the dots connected. I was sitting there like going, oh my god, this makes sense, this and this and this and this. I'm not going to spoil it for you because maybe one day you'll play it.
Maybe.
But then, I mean, I know a lot of mutual Twitcher friends. Either they're really die-hard Final Fantasy VIII fans, or like yourself, they played a bit of it and they never bothered. And I relate to that. So it's just one of those things. You just have to really, really push yourself. I guess for me, when I was Twitch streaming it, a lot of people were really big fans who were watching me, and they were like, "Oh my god, when are you gonna play Final Fantasy VIII? When are you gonna finish it? When are you gonna finish it? Oh my god, when are you gonna finish it?" It's like, okay, calm down, guys. And then I ended up 100%ing it, and I'm happy to never touch that game ever again, except for Triple Triad, because that is what got me through that game. It is the most fun mini game you'll find in Final Fantasy. It's a card game.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not played Triple Triad, but I did play the card game that was in like Final Fantasy IX, and I didn't like it. But
Nah, Tetra
I've
was
heard
rubbish for
Triple
me.
Triad is a lot of people will say like the favorite thing that I've heard or spoken to or read have said like that Triple Triad is the favorite part of Final Fantasy VIII, which is shocking that a mini game in the game is the best part of the
Honestly,
game.
the fighting was so frustrating, and I have met other people. It wasn't just me who struggled with it. A lot of people did struggle as well. A lot of people have that special sentiment to it because it was their first ever Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
But when you've come in playing the other ones, like I have, like I played 7. My favorite was 9, and it's weird that I never really played 8 for some reason. I can't remember why. I think my brother initially bought it and played it, and then I never got a chance to, and it just wasn't. He never went on about it, so I kind of lost interest. So my favorite was like Final Fantasy X for a long time, and then I play 8, and I'm like, what is this garbage? This is why I never played it. Like, what the hell is this? But back then, I remember the adverts. It was like the most beautiful game ever. The CGI was such a big deal. It was silent. Yeah, you could totally just watch it on YouTube, Heads. Don't bother
Yeah,
playing it. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. It sounds like the best thing to do, really, when you
Yeah.
describe the game as uh, an RPG where you will spend the majority of time in battles, where the
Right,
battles are crap.
yes.
Why bother? Just
Literal. I'm not even over exaggerating. You watch some of my VODs and clips, I'm just despairing half the time. And also in the remaster, there were times where it glitched and I just couldn't go up the ladder and I'm like, oh my god, I can't progress the game, guys. I'm actually stuck. Like the ladder won't
uh,
work. Oh my god. Yeah,
did you ever
those
lose any
moments.
progress?
Pardon?
Did you ever lose any progress?
No, actually, I was quite lucky. I never had any like moments where it crashed or anything. I had moments where I didn't know what I was doing, and then like it would like end or I'd mess this up, and then I'd be really confused, going, "Why did the game just end?" Like I don't understand what I was supposed to do because the backgrounds were so flat. I didn't know what was interactive in that game or not. Like it was so stressful, man. Like another moment, there was this bit where you get to kick a chocobo. Oh, that took out so much tension, man. It was like kick the chocobo, just take it all out on this chocobo. And then the
Poor
mother chocobo comes
Chocobo.
and attacks you. Yeah, the mum comes and then smacks you, and it's like, oh, okay, fine,
Uh,
I'll
uh,
stop now.
yeah, that's just mean. You should just kick someone. You should kick the closest person to you in your house. Just walk up to them and kick them
Instead of
instead of the Chocobo.
some of the most frustrating, most useless tasks you had to do in that game to get 100%. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. For people who know me will already know this, that I very, very, very rarely ever 100% a game. For me, a game is I play it until I either get bored
Yeah.
or I finish it. And then as soon as I finish it, it's like, there's a pile of games unplayed. I think I should move on to them, and that's kind of what I do. It's not like a slight against any games. It's more like there's just so many to get through that I actually want to play them and get through them, but I never will. So
I know what you
so
mean.
so Final Fantasy VIII wouldn't be a problem for me. I'd beat the final boss and be like, I'm done.
See you later. Bye.
Yeah, I'd be like, watch the final boss cutscene. I'm done.
Boomerang the game into the sunset. Bye. Never again.
It's pretty great. I just find it astonishing that you spent a year playing the game and you didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, the story helped me through. I did have a lot of questions about my favorite character, and there were I don't want to spoil it, but I mean there's a lot of people who've probably obviously played this game, but there are quite a few characters you discover through the game that are never really advertised, and you're like, wow, there's so much emphasis on Squall, but he's actually crap compared to these other characters that you don't even know exist unless you play the bloody game. And there's these little extra tidbits about these characters, and you're like, oh my god, but they're so interesting. This should be canon. This should be part of the storyline. This shouldn't be a side quest. There should be a cutscene. Like, Square, if you want to redo this game, do it properly, please. Like, can you just fix the fighting, add some more content in, and this is going to be one hell of a game. Can I direct, please? Please, let me fix your game.
So, where do you stand on your favorite then? I'm not sure what you've played altogether of the Final Fantasy, but you said 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes. So,
What are you
I,
sticking with?
so for my favorite, it's hard, you know. I really loved 10 for a long time for so many reasons, and it, when it came out, it was
Tidus's
so
laugh. That's why
innovative.
you loved it, innit?
Huh?
You
Oh, his
loved
laugh.
Tidus's laugh. That's why you
You
loved
know
it.
what? It's mad, right? I didn't know that was like a kind of a meme troll thing for years. I didn't know, and then the fact that his name was Tidus and not Tidus, I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah,
Like,
I assumed it was
people
Tidus.
have tried their best to ruin that game for me, and I'm like, no, I won't accept your troll gremlin humor. No, Titus is hot. His laugh isn't weird. He's trying to be endearing to you. No, I won't accept it.
Yeah, even in the Japanese version, the laugh is exactly the same. It's meant to
Yeah,
be
it's
like a
awful.
playful,
That's
silly
it.
thing. It's the whole point is it's awful, but unfortunately, I guess it became a meme because people probably didn't realize it was meant to be that way. But it,
They
but
didn't
it's like that in
accept
the
it for
original
its
one.
amazingness back then. But yeah, this is the thing, right? So I love 10 because for me, back when it came out, it was really beautiful. But 9 was probably my favorite, even though it was pig ugly. Um, they remastered it, and it does look a lot better in the remaster. But again, it was silent. It was really poignant with all the stuff going on. Like a lot of the moments in the game really like made me emotional. Whereas 10 was, I feel, really. I mean, 9 could be grim as well, but 10 was really grim. There's so
Yeah,
much lore to it too, and maybe I never 100%ed 10. I could, but I never did. There were so many different endings as well.
that's the next Final Fantasy stream sorted. 100% in Final Fantasy 10 and
You
10
know
too.
what? Pedz, everyone's telling me to do 9 now because I've already said it's like my favorite. So I'm like, oh man, I need to take some time to recover, and then we'll see if I'll be touching another
Out
Final
of
Fantasy anytime soon.
I've never finished a Final Fantasy game apart from Mystic Quest because I just get bored
Oh,
eventually.
get
I
you.
don't know why. Some games that I just drop off them. Some games I don't like. I'll play through. Played through Saints Row 2, 3, and 4 several times, but I've never finished the GTA because I get bored.
Oh,
See? So Final Fantasy 6 and Final Fantasy 9 are the ones I've played most. Final Fantasy 9 is probably the one I've played more than any other Final Fantasy except for 14. And I was really enjoying that, and I don't know why I stopped. I wasn't bored of playing it. I was still really enjoying it, and I wish I hadn't stopped playing it because it was awesome. So if you are going to play Final Fantasy 9, then I think that's a good decision.
I think so. I was also in love with the designs of the Moogles in that particular game. Um, I really like the design of them in 10 as well, but 9 was just something a little bit special for me and how they were really important to the story as well.
Hmm.
Ah, Moogles.
Another thing I liked about Final Fantasy 9 is it kind of had a bigger mashup of the fantasy stylings and the cyberpunk, not cyberpunk, steampunk stylings of 7 and 8, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no,
It was like a
it's
bigger
true.
mashup of the two. Like someone grabbed them both and squished them together to make Final Fantasy
Yeah, there
9.
was a lot of like splish splashing of like animal things and all sorts. Yeah, running around and the fashion and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's why I liked it. It was more old school fantasy.
Hmm. Yeah. Um. Would you like to know what I've been playing?
Go on then.
Well, last episode I talked to you, Berlin, about playing Overcooked with the missus. I'm still playing Overcooked with the missus. We are currently on our journey of 4-star and everything still. The reason why we're still doing it after several weeks is because it is bloody hard. It is really,
It is.
really hard to get 4 stars on everything. Like, you get 3 stars on most things. That wasn't too bad. Um, and then it's like you finish it and it's like, oh, there's 4 stars unlocked for you to do. And some of them we like hundreds of points off, and I'm like, I don't understand how you are meant to do it. We're going as fast as we can, and we're just nowhere near the scores. Mainly in the DLC for 2, there is. One of them is particularly difficult. It makes me want to cry.
What I find really hard about 2 is it literally spawns up a new map every single time. You don't know what you're gonna get. You can't plan it. No, literally, because I've played 2 and I was like, I wonder what's different from 1. It's hella hard. That's what it is. And I think are you animals in number 2? Can't recall.
No, you could pick your chef.
Okay.
And some of them are animals, some of them not. But I like the levels they put in, which you have to defend your kitchen from the unbred. But what else I've been playing? I just wanted to quickly touch upon Overcooked 2, simply because I Overcooked All You Can Eat Edition. Sorry, simply because I mentioned last time and just wanted to update people that I still haven't managed to 4-star it all because it's hard. But I've been playing Fallout 76 on Wednesdays. We only started it. I say we because I'm playing it cooperatively with Cumberdanes, who you'll all know from episode 1 and also from Twitch. With Fallout 76, we didn't start it that long ago. Realistically, we should only have played it 2 or 3 times, but we've actually played it about 6 times instead because we played extra days. And I have no experience of the game when it first came out, so I can't say how bad it was back then. Like, I'd seen videos and all the memes and all the jank that was about. But playing it now, it just feels like another Fallout game.
You're enjoying it?
Yes, I am enjoying it. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it as much as I did Fallout 3 in some respects. Like, I'm enjoying it more because I'm playing it with someone and it's actually quite enjoyable. It's quite... I think having a cooperative player usually adds to a game anyway, wherever the game is. Even New Super Mario Brothers, we and the New Super Mario Brothers U, where your co-op players can completely shit on you by jumping on your head and hitting you down a hole or something, it still adds to the experience. So, like, Fallout is normally a solitary thing. Playing through that in co-op is just been really enjoyable, and I think while I wouldn't put it up with like 3, which I really enjoyed, or New Vegas, which I never finished because I played it quite soon after 3, which I also really enjoyed. I'd say it's a very good game, just not quite as good as 3. I think where they've added in a lot of content over the years, that's added to it. Like, they've added NPCs now. Before it was all terminals or robots. Now there's NPCs, so it's actual like characters you can speak to. Also, like, we bumped into people and no one have been an arse. Fortunately, we've had, like, when we started the game together, me and Cumberdanes, we made a party, walked off, started doing some stuff, exploring and doing some missions. And we had people, like, pop up to us and wave and then, like, give us some gifts. And it turned out to be some loot that would be handy for us. It's not what you'd expect. Most people who they'd see you and start shooting you is what you'd think they would do, but generally speaking, people on there have been really nice.
Oh, so these are actual online people?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Fallout 76 is an online game, and I'm not sure how many players are on there altogether at once, but like, if you press start and go to the map, and you look around the map, you can see like little green circles. I think they're green, I'm colorblind. So little green circles, and that's the players. So you can see where several players are.
That's quite cool that the server's still quite active for this game.
Yeah,
It's
think
mad, right? After the game kind of hits its peak, people just kind of stop going. So that's
yeah,
quite refreshing. It kind of just explains what you just said. It's an all right game. People still
yeah,
playing it.
yeah. There's people that still playing it. I think two reasons why. I think when it came out, it was shat on a bit because it did sound and look quite rubbish. To put it bluntly, it looked rubbish. It had many issues. But the updates over the years have seemingly added and fixed a lot of stuff. So I think that's pulled people into it. And another thing is, it's on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. So people don't have to buy the base game to play it. And I don't think the DLC is paid for. I'm not sure. I think, like, when there's a new big update, it's free. Like, the stuff you pay for is like the base game. And like any DLC items, like there's like most free to play games, then there's a currency in the game. It's called atoms. You buy atoms to use in the atomic shop, which there you can buy cosmetic items or items for your building that you build, because you can. It's taken Fallout 4's building aspect, I think, and I think it's expanded on it. so like you can do a bit more. But like I don't bother with that side of things. I have no interest in that, so I can't see me spending any real money on the game. Uh, like I know Jawa Full, for those who don't know, that's a fellow Twitch streamer.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, he makes really pretty Fallout like backgrounds, doesn't he?
yeah. He's
I've seen it on Twitter. He posts up really, really pretty stuff. So that's the same game that you're playing then, okay?
yeah. We've never seen Jawa because someone
Like a
may have
shiny Pokemon hiding in the tall
yeah.
grass.
I think someone might have told him that if me and Cumberdanes see him, we're gonna raid his house and steal all his stuff. But you never know. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you never know. He might be just around one day. You're on, yeah.
Exactly. But we wouldn't steal his stuff. I think he goes offline as soon as he sees us come on, so he's like, no, you can't come near me. Anyway, I'm saying anyway, but I thought we could talk about some news. And the news I was looking at is it was posted on the BBC News website, and it's that gaming time has no link with levels of well-being, study finds. Um Basically, a study of 39,000 video gamers has been found little to no evidence time spent playing affects their well-being. Basically, there was a study a couple of years back, literally a couple of years back, 2 years ago, that said that the well-being, the more you play games, the happier you would be. And this turned out now where they used a much bigger sample pool that isn't the case. It doesn't really affect your well-being. What does affect your well-being is if you have the time then to spend playing 10 hours on a video game a day, then chances are you're happier simply because you've got more free time in general. It's still quite positive in a sense because normally you hear of like I say studies, but not so much studies, just the general um, thoughts of people. It's more, hey, that guy plays games. He's gonna go and massacre people, or he's gonna get really
Yeah, it's normally
aggressive. And
quite negative connotations, isn't it?
exactly, and it's not the case. Like I've been playing games for nearly my entire life, and I haven't killed a single person yet.
Yeah. Not that we found any bodies. It's all good.
They've not looked under my garden yet. I hope there's nothing under there now because I never used to live here before, so they're from other people.
Be like, Pugsley, what are you eating? It looks like a toe.
But Pugsley could eat a toe, and then he'd probably fart and kill everyone. The funny thing is, the study that was done actually was done by the same people who did the study in 2020. So like they did it on a small user base, a small group of people. I think there was a hell of a lot less than there is in this one. This study is like literally 39,000, and the other one I think had like I don't know a couple of hundred. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think that playing games helps your well-being?
Well, I mean, there is some truth to it. A lot of my friends who play games, they are happy, but you're right, they have time to. Whereas I've got a lot of friends, like for example, who've recently started families during lockdown, and where they used to be gamers, they're like, oh, I don't have time anymore, so therefore I can't play games, and they are probably a lot more unhappy because they don't have time to play their games. They're sleep deprived. Whereas if you're playing games and you're sleep deprived, it doesn't matter because you're putting yourself in that situation. I quite enjoy playing video games still because I think it comes to a point that naturally some people just lose the interest. Like you said, imagine like for example Elden Ring, like you invest hundreds of hours on that game and you haven't completed it or something, but you just keep going and you just have this like this will to keep doing it, and then one day you're like, I just don't want to play games anymore.
Yeah.
Can you break yourself, Pedz, like that? Can you?
No.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet either. I've see because for you playing hundreds of hours on Elden Ring is like me playing 100 hours grinding in Disgaea. So I have touched wood not got to that point yet, and I've that's probably the only franchise that I have double copies of, like on a console and on a handheld. Like if I go on a plane for a 10-hour journey to America, I will take Disgaea and I'll be very happy to play that, and it's all good. It doesn't matter if there's a child crying on the plane behind me or someone coughing on me. As long as I've got something to focus on, I'm fine. Um, but yeah, it makes me happy. I've never played, like, for example, if I've put on a game and I feel crap, that's normally because I might have a migraine. I'm tired. Maybe I'm trying to distract myself from something I need to do tomorrow or work pending. We all do that, right? And then
Yeah.
you eventually you have to just turn off the game and just, face up to whatever it is that's bugging you.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is like people, including myself, will be in a bad mood or something, and I think sometimes chucking on a nice, relaxing game can kind of make that mood kind of vanish, and then you become in a better mood.
I
I,
have to ask you now, what's your relaxing game, Peds?
I, I know. I something to relax to. I would just chuck on like something like Forza or something, just to chill around driving. And this is not just the playing of the game. Then I just chuck on Spotify. I'll listen to music while driving around. Like I don't even like car games, generally speaking. I'm not a big racing game fan, but something like that for me, Forza Horizon specifically, just driving around the wilderness with some music blaring in my ears is just great, man.
You're literally going for a digital long drive. That's it. There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm. No, it's fine. I mean, this is the thing though. Everyone has something different to relax to. Some people play like hours of Minecraft because it's relaxing to build something, and you spend hours maybe just building, I don't know, a house.
Mm,
But for someone it's not about the accomplishment. It's just about the thing, like the actual ongoing process, and then having it finished. It's like, oh, that was great.
yeah, I can understand that. Minecraft, Minecraft.
Well, it is Minecraft for some people, yeah.
For some people it is Minecraft. Actually, good point. But with Minecraft, like I've played it myself, and it is relaxing. I got to be in the right mood to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like my kids will nag me. It's like, oh, Dad, can we play Minecraft? I'm like, no, get to bed. But it's only 2 o'clock. Get to bed anyway. Nah, it's not like that. But sometimes I'm like, nah, we'll play Fortnite instead. We'll play this game instead. And yeah, Minecraft is one that I got to be in the right mood for. I guess that's the kind of best mood to be in, though. You just want to relax, chill out a bit, chuck Minecraft on, dig a couple of trenches, and build a castle.
Yeah, and I guess where people like everyone has different hobbies and stuff. I feel like I don't have any skills or hobbies. Like I don't play an instrument. I don't play chess. I used to study English literature, so I hate reading now. I don't draw. Like so, I'm like, what's my go-to? That's it,
Games.
literally. And
Games.
if I can't sleep, video game. If I listen to music, it might give me a headache or keep me awake. So I'm like, yeah,
Do you
fail
know what? Do you know
safe.
what's a good idea to listen to go to sleep?
Your podcast.
Podcast. Well, yeah, my
Yes.
podcast. Yeah. I was just going to say a podcast because I listen to several podcasts. I usually listen to them in bed. Sometimes they'll be great. Sometimes they will help me fall asleep. Other times I'll be laughing my tits off so much that I may disturbing the missus, who then gets annoyed with me for
And
disturbing
then
her all night.
smacks you and then you fall asleep, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Or basically, I'll be so engrossed in it, I'll stay awake till the end, and then I'll go to sleep after it. One good thing
Okay.
to do is to listen to music, but listen to instrumental music, so there's no lyrics, so you're just focusing on the melody and things, and no
Doesn't
lyrics,
stimulate your brain. That
and
makes
it's
sense.
supposed to help you sleep better. I don't know if that's the case, but that is meant to help, according to QI, which is a TV program on the BBC. So yeah.
Watch TV?
Yeah, I'm not a massive watcher of TV. I'll watch the occasional. I like Doctor Who. Um,
Yep.
I don't like. We've got Netflix. We've got
Amazon.
Amazon. We did have Disney Plus, but I cancelled it because I was supposed to be getting a free code from Samsung for a year, and I'm still waiting, and it's been like 4 months, and I was supposed to get it
Oh,
within like 30 days. uh,
great.
so there's like loads of stuff, and like the kids watch it, the missus watches it, I don't, because it's like some. There are points where I'll be like, right, I fancy watching something. I'll sit down, I'll watch it, and then I'll watch loads of stuff, and I'll barely touch games for say like 2 weeks, apart from when I'm streaming. And then, to be fair, most of my gaming time is streaming time, and I'll watch like I'll go through like a 2 week phase of just watching a load of anime or TV shows for a bit, and then I'll be like, right, that's it. I'm done for the next couple of years.
Shocked. You like anime?
Why wouldn't I like anime?
No, I
You
just
say
you've
you say
never
Welsh
mentioned it
people don't
before.
like anime?
No, no, you've never mentioned it before. That's why I'm shocked.
Oh yeah, I like anime. I have
Mm.
done since I was young. I used to it used to be on when this was around when I was 15, 14, 15, 16. Like literally 14 to say 17, I think I was, between those years. Sci-Fi Channel on Sky used to show anime on like a Wednesday night or something, Friday night, one night of the week, and it'd be two animated films then, not shows. And I would record them on a VHS, so long ago it was, and then I would take them around my friend's house and we'd watch them together there. I never actually watched them here, I just set it to record, leave it, and then I'd watch it over my friends like the next day.
Yeah, it'd be really late at night on the Sci-Fi Channel, right? My brothers used to do that. That's how I watched many years later. What was it? Battle Angel Alita, and then they did that film recently
Yeah, I
of
haven't
it.
seen the remake of it, but the live action film. But I really enjoyed Battle Angel Alita. So the obviously the anime is a lot, from what I've seen of trailers, a lot less of the manga than the film, in the sense of it goes
I
further into the story.
Yeah, but I do think it does follow the animated OVA from long ago. It does follow it quite well because I was remembering bits and pieces, and I was like, wow, this isn't this isn't as bad as everyone said it is. But
I
everyone
haven't
has
seen,
their
so
own
I can't
opinion.
comment.
It is what it is. Storytelling, people interpret it all different ways.
One anime I really liked that I'm disappointed never got like, it was an 80s anime based on a manga called Gaiva, and then they brought it back
Remember that.
in the 2000s and started it again, and it was more closely following the manga, I believe, and that was really good, and it just never got any more seasons, and I was so disappointed because it was really cool.
It
Gaiva's
was quite
awesome.
popular. I'm actually surprised that didn't carry on as well. It just disappeared one day. Do you know what it is? In Japan, like nowadays, they release 10 new animes a week, and not all of them continue because there's just so much. So there's like random pilots that are floating around, but you'll never see anymore just because it's so competitive.
That's a shame. Like, I think
And
the
then some of
manga
these
went on for
studios
a
lose
long
money.
time, but you know, I didn't get my anime.
Oh, you
They
never
did
know. I
make
mean,
two films, live action films, back in the
hmm.
90s, I think it was. I think the first one was Mutronics and the second one was Guyver something or other. And they were very good films. I
Well, this
think,
is the.
what's his name who does the voice of Snake? Something
Oh,
Hater?
what's his face? David Hayter.
David Hater, that's one. I think he plays the main character in the second film, and his name is Sean, I think, instead of Show.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Nah, they weren't very good films. The anime was ace, you know. But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know I liked anime, considering. Then again, I'm no one has really
I've never
mentioned
heard
it to
you
me,
mention
like
it, so
for me to
that's
mention it
I've
myself.
learned something new about you today, Pedz.
Yeah, my favorite anime is I don't know. I couldn't say. Like when I was younger, like I watched Dragon Ball Z. I then later watched Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT all in Japanese with subtitles because that's how I prefer to watch anime.
Mhm.
I don't know, loads of stuff. Like I never got into One Piece. I watched all of Naruto. I should give One Piece another shot, to be fair. Like, but you know,
It
there's
is
just
long.
so much of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very long. That and Bleach.
Yeah, I really like Bleach up to a certain point, and then I just stopped enjoying it. Bleach, I think they went to like where all the uh death people were, and then like one of them turned out to be evil, and then they left, and then I was like, I'm leaving too. Yeah, so there you go. But like recently, I've been reading One Punch Man, and that's really good.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I've also been reading Spy Family, I think it's called.
My family, yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading that. I think there's an anime coming or out now, but I haven't
Oh,
watched that.
it's already out on I think Netflix. I could be wrong. Netflix or Crunchyroll.
Ah, right. I also started reading Chainsaw Man and a few other ones. You
That
know,
is also very good, Chainsaw Man, because they're anticipating the anime soon for that, because that was such a hit.
have you read it or are you waiting on the anime?
No, I've read a few chapters, but I don't know. I've just become accustomed to animes. Like I don't know, for fighting mangas, like I just would rather just watch the anime unless there's like really like pretty art, then I'll invest in the manga, but not
Yeah.
anymore. I'm
Tell
done.
you an anime that I really enjoy.
I know you can watch it digitally as well, the mangas, but I'm just like, nah. If it's fighting, I'd rather just see it 5 seconds on the screen rather than read 20 pages of them about to hit something. You know?
Yeah. No, that's completely understandable. I will say though, a really good anime that I watched and then I read the manga afterwards because it went on longer was an anime called Beck. Um, it's about
Heck, I've
uh,
heard of this.
it's about a band. A
Oh,
couple of it's called Beck something. I can't remember because they've got two names. They called Beck the band are, but outside of Japan they're called something else because there's already a Beck.
yeah. We know the American singer. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really good. Uh you should check out Beck. It's really good. And the thing is it's not a thing with all fighting and stuff. It's about a group of kids who form a band and stuff, so reading it should be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna worry about like fight scenes and stuff.
I've read. I mean, well, when I did used to read a lot of manga, it was very much the shoujo girly stuff because it'd always be like, oh, and she's normal, she goes to school, and then one day she wakes up with magical powers because why not?
Are they on what? I wish I could wake up with magical powers.
Exactly. And then you have a talking cat as well. That's everything I wanted in life when I was younger. So, yeah.
I wouldn't
Now,
say no
now
to
I'm
that right
just like,
now.
well, you never know. I could wake up and become Miss Marvel. I'm still waiting on that one. Yeah.
Uh, the final section of the podcast will be talking about a specific game that we have both played. I assume you played it. I played it today, so it's
I
fresh in
did.
my mind.
I
It is
did play it.
called Shadow Corridor, I believe.
And it's legit what it's called. It's you're walking through a massive, never-ending corridor in the dark.
Yeah. How did you get on with the game then? I want to see if you have the same opinion as me.
I'm sure you got past me because I am terrible with directions. I was getting lost like nobody's business. Then I realized I'd picked challenger mode, which was a big mistake. So I started the game again and picked the easy mode because easy mode has a map. So I was like, nah, I can't cope. And then with because it's the perspective, like it's like a Dooms type of game. You're like turning left, right, and you're looking around and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, this is making me motion sick. So I was like, I need to
Uh,
get which is unlucky, right? Because this was kind of a horror style game that I'm really into that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh no, if this perspective wasn't like this, and I can actually see my character walking around, I wouldn't feel so sick as well. So I went back, started again from the beginning. Was paying a lot more attention to the map than actually looking at the game because it was making me feel sick. But I got so lost. I don't know. I don't think I even got that far. I got to a point where, okay, so at the beginning, it gives you a little intro that something happened and walk towards this alleyway, and then you're walking around and you find a cart blocks one of your ways, so you have to walk all the way around. You have to crawl from a bush. Then you find yourself behind the car, and then you go to another alleyway where there's like flickering lights, and then
mm,
you end up at another bit, and then there's like this sign going, warning, bros will attack. And then so you have to like crouch so that things don't hear you. And at one point when I crawled under the bush thing, I ran it for like someone's garden, and this man just slams the door open, and then it ended the game, and I was like, what just happened? I don't actually understand what happened. Did someone saw me and that was it? Did he kill me? Did what?
I
Um,
snuck through that garden because I saw the thing like about crouching and not being hurt. So I thought, right, obviously I meant to just crouch and sneak through this garden.
yeah.
I'm gutted I didn't get to see the man come out and murder me.
If he murdered me, then it reloads you nearby, so I did it again and I crouched this time and I survived. But then what confused me was the crow bit. So I went through, couldn't get through, wasn't quite sure. I backed up, ran around these corridors, alleyways, and couldn't find anything. So I went back and I was like, do you know what? Come at me, crows. And the crows did nothing. And I was like, oh, I must have missed something at some point.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw a crow standing above a gate.
yeah, that's it. That one.
Yeah, and you're supposed to throw a firecracker on the floor and it drops the key it's holding.
Okay. So I did find the firecrackers. So okay.
Yeah, you chuck that and it drops a key. You then go through the gate, carry on, and then you end up in this like weird forestry area that seems kind of like back in time. It's
I was
weird.
expecting like traditional kind of times. Okay.
Yeah, and then you go from there into like this weird traditional style Japanese house. It looks
Oh god, I would have loved that.
wooden.
I didn't even get to the creepy bit, Pedz. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Well, the thing is I got there fine enough, and I finished chapter 1, but then in chapter 2, I just got lost so much, I got bored and knocked the game off. I was like, "This is shit." Knocked it off.
I'll be honest, that's how I felt. Pedz.
Uh,
It kind of actually reminded me a little bit of I don't know if you've played the series, Devil Shin Megami Tensei. I've said it totally wrong.
Shin Megami Tensei, I think it's
That's it.
pronounced. Yeah, I think
One of
so.
them's called Soul Hackers, and the dungeon style just remind me so much of this game. And then sometimes in that game, I used to get lost a lot. But the thing is, with that, you can actually fight monsters, so
Yeah,
that
in
kept
that
me
you
really interested.
see you literally see the monster, the first
And
monster,
that's it.
because there's
Yeah.
more, and then its eyes flash at you, and then it makes this clanging sound as it chases you, and you've got to run away. Like, can't do anything, you just got to run.
Very
For
stealthy,
aid,
yeah.
yeah, for aid, I literally died on the very first thing you see. About what must have been at least 10 times because I kept running out of stamina when I was running away, and it just catch me. So what I did in the end was walk to where it was. As soon as the lights went, the candles started flickering and stuff. I walked away and just kept running around until I eventually managed to get past it. I don't even know how I did. And in the second chapter of the game, I was even more confused. I did find loads of items. You can find these blue stones that illuminate rooms, but they don't affect the monsters, whatever they're called, in any way. They like low luminescence. Sorry, and that is meant to be low enough that they don't notice the light. But you can also get a flashlight, as it's called in the game. I would say a torch, but a flashlight, which is brighter than the lighter.
Yeah, but the lighter runs out after a bit, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was using it a lot, so then it kept the flashing, as in finishing, and I was like, I still don't know where I'm going. This is a problem.
But you can also get a old school camera with a bulb, and that's
Oh,
supposed to be, if you
yeah, that's what
press
I'm
it,
talking about.
it flashes on the monstery things and stuns them or something. But you
So
have to
if
wait for
you
it to
hadn't have got
reload, so to speak.
lost, Pez, would you have carried on with the game?
I probably would have carried on with the game just to experience more of it, to have more to talk about. But I I don't know. I think the simple fact that I kept getting lost just threw me. And I just got bored. I'll be honest, I got bored. Unfortunately, I was like, this look like this would be interesting, and I was like, my missus was sitting here and she said, I thought this was supposed to be a scary game. I was like, yeah.
It was. It was an indie game as well, so you know it
Like,
was a
I'm
bit
not saying
tougher.
the game is bad. I wouldn't say the game is bad.
Not all the
It,
same.
it's more that I just didn't get on with it. Like, I've played some scary games. I have no issue with them. Like Blair Witch, for example, it's a similar kind of thing. And I got lost at the beginning of that. That I really enjoyed a couple of years back. But this was it was too unfocused in a sense, because you couldn't really focus on you need to go somewhere. It was, I'll have
Yeah,
to
it
just
didn't
keep
give you
going down
much
these corridors,
to work
opening these
with.
doors, finding these keys, opening these other doors, and I'm still not making any. Feels like I'm not making any progress.
Yeah.
And also I died in the second chapter, and I like went into this room. I started off in this really small room with no doors, I think, and I used this item, and it like seemed like it teleported me to another place. And then after I was looking around, then I died. And then after I died, it put me back to the start of the level. But it seemed like the level was a different layout, because I was able to leave the room straight away through like these big double doors and just explore. So I'm not sure if it's like randomly generated or if I'm just wrong.
Okay, so if it spawned you from a different area, yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really sure what went on there, but yeah, I think it's a game that I think, if like I played it without a map, I didn't know you could play it with a map. Maybe
Yeah,
I'd give
yeah.
it another
You go
bash with a
full
map.
mode. Yeah, yeah. I think you would have got a lot further if you had the map. I would have been better if it just was a different perspective for me to play from, because I was just feeling all for it. It's like I was playing VR mode. You know when you put the VR headset on and then suddenly you just feel pressure on your head and you're like, oh my god. Yeah, I was feeling that.
Ah, lovely. That's just what you want to feel when you're playing a game. The demons try and eat your face.
Yeah, running after you and you're just like, I'm gonna vomit on you, demon. Blech. Yeah. I actually really like survival horrors. I'm not amazing at them, but have you played survival horrors, what do you call it, Project Zero, or it's also known as Fatal Frame?
I haven't played that. I've seen the bits of it, and it does look really cool. It's the one with the camera, isn't it? You
Yeah,
gotta take
that's
pictures
it.
of ghosts.
Yeah, so particularly Fatal Frame or Project Zero 2, both, that one was like kind of really stood out because it's similar to what happens in Shadow Corridor, where you're running around and then something happens and suddenly you're transported to a different era, and you're in the like old school like wooden buildings, and you're in a forest and there's like charms everywhere, very very cult like. So that kind of added to the atmosphere, and also you feel like, oh crap, I can't go back home now. Just gonna have to figure this out. Except there's kind of like story. You find bits of paper, and you're reading stuff, and you're figuring out where you are and where you're going, and blah blah blah.
I thought you were going to
So
say
I
bits
was
of
kind of
people
thinking,
then.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be something like that, but that kind of game.
Yeah, I think they are story things. Like I explored a bit, and it wasn't until later on when I died again. You can use I can't remember what they're called, Matakanas or something. The little stone opal-y like shaped with a hole
Yes,
in
you
it.
need that for when you die. It brings you back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It brought me back, and that when I used that, it brought me back to the same, what looked like the same level. So I think
Yeah.
if you don't, you go to a different generated world, and if you use one, you don't. I think. But after I died, I went again, went back to the starting area I was in. I noticed there was a note on the wall, and it was like, "Oh, you need to get out of here really quickly." Blah blah blah, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So there is things to pick up, and it does give you like story beats, and there's notes left around for you to read. Uh, so you do get like a semblance of something's going on that you're unaware of. But I have no clue what, because I didn't get far enough. I literally got to
Yeah.
chapter 2, and I don't know how many chapters there are.
Well, there you go. I put you through a nice journey of a long ass corridor.
It did feel like a long ass corridor.
It did. That's what I'm saying. It was literally what the tin said. You got exactly what it said. Yep,
Yeah.
done. Except there were Kakashi dolls in it, but I don't think we got that far to find them, because then that would have been spot on.
Are you gonna go back and play it more?
Now that you've told me about the key, I think I will. I just think for me, I can't play it in long bursts, which is unfortunate because it just makes me feel sick. I'm not sure if it's weird. Another horror game I played, again because of the perspective. This was actually on PS4. It was called White Day. This was the first ever game I streamed on Twitch. Couldn't
All
play
right.
it for more than an hour. It made me so physically sick. Um,
Ah,
I don't know what it is, if it's the backgrounds or something that just affects my head. I don't know. But
yeah, third person can have that effect on people. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I remember someone saying that if you put something at the top and the middle of your screen, or the bottom and the middle of your screen, like something slight, small, like a no, like a string or something, I think that kind of takes focus away from the game in a sense, and it stops you from
oh, so I
getting.
look at something else. Oh, okay.
I don't know if that works, and I don't know if I'm actually right in
Yeah,
remembering it was a long time ago that I read it, so
yeah.
it'd be worth trying, I guess. But yeah, another game I wouldn't mind playing, horror game. I've not played, and it was a Japanese horror game for the PlayStation 2, and I think it's now on the PlayStation 5 via PS Plus Plus Plus. There was the PS4 remake, was a game called Siren. When it was released
Oh,
outside
yeah,
of
I've heard of
Japan, it's
that.
called Forbidden Siren. How was it?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good. I'm not sure which one I've played because there's one where you're on a boat
All right.
and it's kind of you're at sea and she's blocking you from like getting off. But I think it might be Siren 2. But yeah, it's supposed to be really scary, but I never got hold of the original. Some of these games are like cult, but just got discontinued.
Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, you can play. I'm sure it's called Forbidden Siren. It's like a remake of the original Siren game for PlayStation 4, and I think you can play it via PS Plus Plus Plus, or you can buy it, and I think it's quite cheap anyway, like 15 quid. I say quite cheap in the current economic crisis. £15
Yeah.
is not cheap for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, compared to £70 a game on the PlayStation 5, is bloody quite cheap.
Yeah.
So, we've been going for just over an hour. I think it will be time for us to end the podcast. But before we do, I would like to ask you if you would like to plug anything.
So I you're into JRPGs, do check me out on my Twitch. It's doomed_Prinny. If not, I like to post pictures of my cat and also screenshots from some of the funny things I come across in the games on my Twitter, which is Hades_Kitty. And I got other stuff. You can find it if you. But yeah. Too much to plug.
Yeah, it's fine. You can plug what you like.
Thank you for having me on your podcast, Pedz.
No problem. What one thing I will say is what was you saying? You would do YouTube channel?
Oh, my YouTube. So I do interviews with people in the gaming industry. I've interviewed voice actors, um, artists, game developers, uh, Japanese performers. So check it out if you're into anything to do with J culture. I'm sure you'll find something you like. Even Overwatch. I've got all types of interesting stuff. I never used to like plug it before, but then someone just went to me randomly. You have an interview with the guy who does Dr. Robotnik. Why would you not tell anyone about that? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know who's interested. I just met him and thought he was really funny and I recorded it.
Wait,
How
wait,
it
wait,
is.
wait, 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 wait. You've got an interview where you're talking to the guy who does the voice of Dr. Robotnik / Eggman.
Yes. I've met him a few times. He's really cool, dude.
Yeah, but, how am I only now hearing about this?
Okay, yeah, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. I do this stuff and I look back in, I'm like, God, this is so cringe. And now many years after, everyone's like, this is gold. And I'm like, cool. Have a look if you like.
Yeah, you need to show this stuff off. You know, like one of my favorite aspects of the new Sonic games and like Sonic Boom and that, was Eggman. He's hilarious, great. So yeah, I how am I only now hearing about this?
Oh,
I am shocked.
he's there. He's awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of different peeps. I mean, I've actually, speaking of Snake, I've actually have an interview with David Hayter as well. So
Uh, See, everyone, you should go to YouTube. As soon as you finish listening to this, as soon as we finish, which is going to be in a minute, and I'm assuming it's under Doomed Prinny as well.
actually, because this is my YouTube's really old. I had one for a long time, didn't put anything on it, and then only recently I've started uploading stuff. So it's gonna be under my kind of like my fashion name, which is it's Aisha AISHA underscore anime ANIME. Therefore, why I was asking about anime today. I like anime.
Well, that's a good thing because anime is awesome.
Yay!
So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter _Pedz _ I think it is. But mainly just check out my Twitch channel and also search for Pedz Reviews on YouTube for my reviews. We'll be back in a fortnight. I have another guest lined up. Just waiting to discuss what game we're going to play, and then we'll be all set. So until next time, catch you later. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.